Hey folks, Kirby Obsidian here. So, it's been a while. It's been several weeks. I've been distracted, but I've gotten away from the city. We're here at our rural retreat in the southern tier of New York, a place we call Willow. So wonderful here, so relaxing. And one of the best parts of being here is there is very little connectivity. So we have a radio, which is on a few hours a day, music and some NPR. And but that's about it. We have a TV, but no local reception. We have a little data coming over the phone, so I can check emails and weather, stuff like that. But other than that, that's mostly it. So it's good to kind of clear the brain and get away from that media addiction, which I suffer from really bad. But why do we have a TV? We have a TV for DVDs because I do permit myself when I'm here alone to watch one movie a night, which is great because it's just one movie. I anticipate it, I enjoy it, and then I get to digest it. I'm not just jumping right into something else. So I thought I'd talk about the movies I've been watching because I've been watching some really good ones. These are all older movies. So start off with this. The Others with Nicole Kidman. Directed by Alexandro Amenbar. Sorry, I didn't do any prep for this. I really like this because it's a different type of ghost story. I'm going to try not to give any spoilers, but it was very refreshing in that way. I'm generally not much into most horror. I'm not into like the jump scares and the gore and the monsters very much, but this was good because it was intelligent and it gave a really interesting perspective. So it was really enjoyable for those reasons. I really liked it. Next, West Side Story. Now I've seen this 1,000 times. We had some guests who hadn't seen it, so I ran this by them, and they actually liked it. The best part of this to me are the two really politically savvy numbers by Stephen Sondheim. I think he was like 20 or 22 or something. The tune America and Officer Krupke, which give some really smart socio-political kind of analysis. I think they're really smart. Apparently, now we saw the play West Side Story a few years ago, and I was shocked that all the lyrics to the song America in the play were really all bashing Puerto Rico. And apparently, at the time the movie was being prepared, or I guess at the time of the play, there was some backlash to that. So the lyrics in the movie were altered, and so they're very balanced. The women are saying, Viva America, and the guys are saying, yeah, Puerto Rico is the best, and it goes back and forth. But it's really smart. Okay, so next, Spike Lee, Jungle Fever. Now most of these movies I'd only seen once, way back, and this is one of them. I saw this way back when it came out, which I guess was, oh my goodness, I should have done a little prep. Late 80s or something like that. Really good movie. It was better than I remembered it being. This is personally relevant because the love of my life is a white woman, and so this was kind of interesting to see this perspective on interracial relationships. We haven't experienced nearly the trauma that these characters experience. Actually, the only really strong reactions we've gotten to be in a mixed couple were the first time we went to New York City. We had a couple of sisters give us some like evil looks, very reminiscent of the Queen Latifah bit in this movie. But it was really good. Samuel L. Jackson is amazing. It was Halle Berry's first film. A smart movie, and you know, the look at addiction, really good. Okay, another one that I've seen a million times myself, Doctor Strangelove. But Marjana hadn't seen this, and apparently it flopped with her. Every time I show her a Kubrick film, I say, "Oh, Kubrick, the greatest of all time, one of the great films of all time," and she ends up falling asleep or rolling her eyes. I still think this is brilliant for its commentary, but you know, she found it. She said, "What, a bunch of guys yelling yelling at each other," which I guess is kind of true. But George C. Scott is so amazing in this. You know, all the talk is how brilliant Peter Sellers is, which he was. But George C. Scott was so funny. He's brilliant comic actor. So that was really good. The Bridges of Madison County. Now this is another one I hadn't seen since I originally saw it way back when. You know, Clint Eastwood pisses me off because he's so damn conservative in his politics, but he makes some damn fine movies, I must say. And I'm not into the romance genre at all, but this movie is great. And Meryl Streep is just so brilliant in this. I mean, you know, I'm not one of those people. I've always loved Meryl Streep. I don't think of her as beautiful. Not that is beside the point. But anyway, in this film, I found her so attractive. Playing this housewife. And her acting, you know, the contrast between Clint Eastwood's acting and Meryl Streep's acting, you know, he was good. He was fine. He does the role. But with her, you can see her heart shifting, her thoughts, her feelings. You can just, you know, just her gestures, her facial expressions. It's just such an amazing job of acting in that film. Another Spike Lee joint, and this is another one I hadn't seen since around the time it first came out. This is, I think, is one of Spike Lee's great movies, and I don't think there's a black actor in this movie, which is just kind of interesting because most of his movies are so many of them very much about race or about the black community. But this is very much a New York movie, as he points out. There's one of those scenes where the lead character, played by Ed Norton, does this kind of scathing attack on every minority and majority in the city, you know, which is reminiscent of the scene in Do the Right Things. But it's such an intelligent film. Edward Norton is great. Philip Seymour Hoffman is great. Rosario Dawson is great. Anna Paquin is great. It was just really a moving film. Brian Cox is great. A moving film about a very difficult situation. Basically, the main character is going into prison in 24 hours and trying to prepare himself for that, and dealing with his relationships, and the side characters are very interesting as well. It's a really strong movie. I think it's one of Spike's best. Dogville. Now, this is the one of these films that I had never seen before. I had heard of it. Mostly what I had heard about it was that the set, about the set, which is basically you have what is like a stage, I guess, and you have chalk outlines of the various locales with a few, a little bit of very scant props, a little bit of structure indicating, aspects of a place that they're in. But basically, it's a film with very little in the way of sets, very little in the way of props. This movie blew me away. First of all, the settings worked for me. This very bare physical set worked for me very well. I guess it highlighted the interpersonal dynamics. One of the interesting things about it is you hear right at the beginning that this is a very poor community, this Dogville being depicted, but you don't pick up on that really until the very end, where there's this there's a photo montage depicting what looks like Appalachia in the 20s or something, mostly. But anyway, to get to the point of it, this movie really impacted me, I think in large part because I spent most of my working life in social work. And the film has to do with giving and receiving. I don't want to give it away, but it really gave me a lot to think about in terms of social work as a means to provide for those who don't have much. And this film kind of analyzes and critiques that in a really scathing, cynical, truthful, powerful way. I found it really moving, and it really had me thinking about the work that I did and the value of that work, or lack thereof, lack of value in that work. Very powerful film. So that represents maybe half. We've been here 2 weeks. I think that was 7 films. We've been here 2 weeks. So, these were the ones that really were just great. I recommend everyone see these films. And bye for now, folks. Thanks for listening.